So it's time for me to think about purchasing a new car. Now, my previous car, I've only had for a very short time, but let's be honest, I just don't like it. What I've decided I want is I want comfort, I want practicality, I want drivability, and I want style. So Mazda Australia have sent me the CX-30 Astina, which is the top of the range Mazda CX-30. And I've had it for a week. This is the end of my week with it. And I have to say, it is very much a front runner for my next car. So let's take it for a drive and I'll tell you all the reasons why. So the CX-30 is based on the platform of the Mazda 3. So it's about the size of a Mazda 3, but picture a Mazda 3 as an SUV. It's 2.5 inches taller, which does make a difference. Now, one of the things I dislike is the plastic cladding. Like a lot of SUVs have plastic cladding now, but this is super thick. Now, there is a sports pack called a Kuru, I think. I'll put it up on the screen, but the sports pack makes this look super, super sexy, but it is a $6,500 add-on, which puts you in the category of buying a CX-5 if you wanted to go up to the next category as well. But all in all, it's such a beautiful, beautiful car. We'll get into it shortly and go for a drive, but as you can see, all leather interior, everything's really beautiful in here. And the steering wheel's lovely, the dash is lovely, everything's perfect. Coming around the back, again, all LED lighting. Opening up the boot, as you can see, there's quite a lot of space in here. Let's bring up the lighting a little bit. It's got my whole camera kit. The seats fold down 60/40. There is plenty of room in here. There is a space saver spare underneath the flooring there. But again, super big plastic around here, which I'm not sure if I like or not. Anyway, that's a bit of a wrap on the CX-30 Astina. Let's jump in and take it for a run. It's a whole lot warmer in the cabin of the CX-30 than it is outside today, but that's what winter's all about. And in general, I mean, the sun's out. We're very lucky in Australia for the winters that we do get. They're so much nicer than a lot of winters around the world. Anyway, so we're talking about this CX-30. Now, as I mentioned in the introduction, there is 3 cars in my top hit list of what I want to buy in the next iteration of my motoring life. The previous one that I bought, the Subaru BRZ, I just haven't connected with it all. I just don't enjoy it. Unfortunately, I mean, it was a lovely car. It's great for a lot of people. It's just not for me and the style of driving that I like to do. So what is it that I like to do? Or what is it that I'm looking for in a car? I want comfort. Comfort is a really big thing when you're 52 years old. And I guess that's where the BRZ doesn't sit very well with me. I just can't find comfort in that at all. So comfort. I want sporty drivability, without a doubt. I am a driver, I am a motoring enthusiast, and I love to have a little bit of get up and go in my cars. Now, one thing that Mazda do in almost every car they ever make is make drivable cars. They make cars that, whilst they may not be a performance car, they are always sporty and they have a very, very good driving feel. Like, this is a compact SUV, and on a road like this in the Royal National Park, or on a regional road or a twisty mountain road, it just handles. This particular motor is the 2.5 litre naturally aspirated motor. So it's actually quite a big motor for a relatively small car. This CX-30 is based on the platform of a Mazda 3. The Mazda 3s also have the 2.5 litre naturally aspirated motor in them in their top levels as well. Now, what that does is give more than enough power for almost all of your needs. And most importantly, it's mated to a normal automatic gearbox, not a DSG, not a CVT. Those things, they just bother me. I know that some people love the DSGs, and I enjoyed a DSG when I had one, but I just prefer a normal, I think it's called a torque converter automatic gearbox. It just seems to be more drivable, more comfortable, more natural. And if you do want to have a little bit of fun in this, there is paddle shifters on the front of the steering wheel, so you can just knock it down a couple of gears and take off. Now this is a really tight little corner, and the CX-30 just sits so flat. I would say that the Mazda 3 probably handles better because of its lower center of gravity, but man, this isn't far behind it, I can guarantee that. Now, coming back to some of my wish lists for my next car. So it was comfort, it was drivability, tick tick. Both of those are in this CX-30. Practicality. Now, this car is relatively practical. Now, it's way more practical than my BRZ was, no doubt about it. There is a usable back seat in here. However, it's not a back seat where you'd be comfortably housing 2 extra adults. For kids, yep. Maybe for adults for a short stretch, yep. But there isn't masses of space back there. But for me, more than I need. It's just nice to be able to have that little bit of extra space if you do happen to pick someone up along the way. The boot space is quite substantial, and especially when you fold down your 60/40 back seats, you've got ample room in there to transport almost anything that you need. And this does have a 1200 kilogram braked towing capacity, so you can put a tow bar on this, and you can also tow like maybe a small box trailer if you're doing a run to the tip, picking up firewood, even transporting motorcycles around. This little car can handle that as long as you're managing the tow ball weight as well. Look, you might be thinking, what are the other 2 cars in my top 3 wish list for my next car? Not surprisingly, they're both Mazdas. Running throttle down under for the last 6 to 7 years, it has enabled me to be able to drive some of the best cars available on the Australian market, and I'm so fortunate and grateful for the experiences that I've had. But what it made me realise is that Mazda is right up there with one of my favourite brands available here, and right behind them would be Volkswagen. But the reason why I like Mazda is they build budget-friendly, luxury, driver-focused cars. It doesn't get much better than that. Now, these aren't a performance car by any means. It's not going to win a race on a track. It's not going to win a drag race down the strip. But it is an engaging car to drive. It's a car that really makes you smile a lot, especially when you're putting an SUV into a corner like that. It's just, I think it's the, probably, let's say the least ego involving car that still gives you all of the feels. Now, this interior is equal to its European competitors. Now, in our CX-5, I've compared that to the interiors of the equivalent Audis, and I would choose the Mazda every day of the week over the Audi. No arguments at all. That was a bit of rambling. Let's come back to my other 2. Well, the first one would be the Mazda 3, which is the hatchback version of this. It's not on the SUV raised springs. This is 2.5 inches taller than a Mazda 3, so it will have a lower center of gravity, but will have less vision ahead though. But other than that, pretty much the interior is the same, the engine's the same. you're just sitting a little bit lower, so maybe it would be more engaging to drive. Now, the other end of my wish list is another CX-5. Now, why would I need two CX-5s in my life? Well, let's talk about budget. This CX-30 Astina is sitting around about the $47,000 mark drive away. If I option this with an all-wheel drive, which I would like to do for safety and for wet roads and for, you know, all the things, then we're pushing up around about the $50,000 mark. Looking online this morning at carsales.com, the SP grade CX-5s, which is a sporty grade of the CX-5 in the upper end with the 2.5 litre turbo all-wheel drive, they're going for about $53,000, $54,000. So do I choose to step up into one of those for just a little bit more money to get more comfort, a bigger vehicle, and a turbo all-wheel drive? Now, nothing is going to happen in a hurry. I do have my French road trip coming up for Field of Feast, my other channel, which obviously has taken all of my coin, and so it will probably happen towards the end of the year. But to sum it all up, the CX-30 I absolutely love. It's certainly at the top of my hit list. The only one thing I don't like about it is that really thick cladding around the back and the bottom of the doors, and it's there for a reason. I think it's just overdone a little bit. It could be a bit slimmer or stylized just a little bit better. Just my opinion. There's loads of these cars on the road and everyone seems to love them. And maybe it is a good idea. Maybe if I'm going to be doing some dirt roads in country towns, maybe that cladding will save my paint work and it will be totally worth doing. Anyway, until the next video, folks, throttle on, stay safe. I'll see you soon.